This is St. Louis on the Air from St. Louis Public Radio. I'm Elaine Cha. This year marks the 11th Tiny Desk Contest, where unsigned musicians from across the country throw their hats in the ring for a chance to perform their very own Tiny Desk concert at NPR's Music Newsroom, NPR Music's newsroom, and hopefully level up in the music industry. There were 51 entrants from our listening area, and myself and my colleagues listened to our favorites. Joining me in studio to talk about this is Brian Munoz, STLPR's visuals editor.
Hey, Elaine.
Welcome back. And I'm also joined by St. Louis on the Air producer, Miya Norfleet.
Hello.
Hello again. So let's get to this. The first song, one of the staff picks, local favorite, is a song that comes out of a band in Troy, Missouri, and that's Dead Format. And the song is called Hide. Brian, tell us about this.
Yeah, no, I thought this was a great, song straight from the home of Deanna Price, one of our local Olympians.
Okay.
And just really it's a love tribute with, the main character not knowing if they should stay with their significant other, the push and pull of growing apart and what that ultimately means for their love together. I love the bluesy vibe of this piece. Big shout out to Zach Vaughn on saxophone. Just an awesome sax solo to close out the piece there. I think the last part that just made me chuckle was going through the submission and seeing Tony Allison as the vibe consultant. So, they thought about it all.
Yeah, right. And let's hear what that vibe is. And that is Dead Format's Hide.
Yes.
Miya.
This video, we're on radio, so I'm going to give you a visual. You need to watch it. It's great production value all around. It's very impressive. They're in the basement, like Jorge said, very much a Midwest scene. But yeah, like you listen to this and you're not like, oh, this is just them in the basement jamming. Like, this sounds like they could just put this on an album right now.
Right. Yeah. It has a very 80s soft rock kind of vibe to me. Now, for the next song, Miya.
Yes. So this next song is Ida a Day, Fantasy. We've heard from Ida in the past on St. Louis on the Air, where she talked about her album. And this is also a fave of mine, as well as my colleague, Eric Weathersby. He's one of our on-air announcers. He's a huge music fan and a huge fan of Ida as well. And he shared what he loves about Ida's Tiny Desk entry.
Singer-songwriter Ida a Day sings about love in every way, self, platonic, and romantic love. Her voice has a sound that carries the journey and experiences in her professional and personal life, which she brilliantly shares with her fans and audience through all of her music. She's just your friendly neighborhood soul-singing young woman and classically trained that will take you on a wonderful musical journey.
Let's take a walk down memory lane. When you met me before all our silly games, I called you my best friend. I knew I wanted you till the very end. Would have known what we'd go through to end up alone. Fast forward to right now, and I'm your favorite girl. Got your wraps around my finger. I know I'm your whole world. And it's the same for you. Knowing to what I do to have you ever. It's good until I wake up, 'cause it's a fantasy, a silly dream. You and me could never be a fantasy, silly me, thinking we could ever be. Fantasy, silly dream. You and me could never be. Fantasy, silly me, thinking we would ever be. Oh, yeah.
And that is Fantasy by Ida Ade.
Yeah, I mean, Ida not only has incredible vocals, I'm watching, these videos several times over the last couple of weeks, sometimes in the dead of night, and every time she pulls out that violin, I think, holy cow,
Yep.
I can barely, walk and talk at the same time, let alone belt out, sing, play the violin, and she does it beautifully.
Yeah. And speaking of beautifully and doing many things and seeing many things, the next pick is one that you and I, Brian, talked about, and this is from El Draco and Free Nation.
Yeah, the Ballad of Ronnie James, Maneater. So I ran into El Draco by accident, actually. I was just covering the Arctica Art Festival when I was down on the Cotton Belt, and I'm sitting there as they have this giant wood effigy they're about to light on fire, and I hear someone just belting in the background. I'm like, dang, they're really good. Who is that? And I go over there, and I mean, El Draco, Free Nation, both, just incredible performers. This song, Ballad of Ronnie James, follows the tale of someone falling absolutely head over heels for somebody else, presumably Ronnie James, who turns out to be an absolute, low-down cheater.
Okay.
So,
I was gonna say, what you about to say? Oh Lord, you got on the air.
I mean, powerful vocals, almost raspy at times, which I love. I love the flexibility in El Draco's vocal range. On one hand, you can sing a high-energy power ballad, and then you can go and do something a little more delicate.
Let's hear El Draco and Free Nation.
You're not to get none on you. I'm not gonna be your side-bitch lover. But you don't recognize, can't sympathize. You blame me for the lies you trivialize. I tell you what I know, believing in reality, yeah. I'm not gonna stay up, 'cause I got to do me, I got to be free from you.
And that is the Ballad of Ronnie James, Maneater by El Draco and Free Nation. Now, our next pick comes out of Granite City, Illinois. This is a staff pick, and it is by Kai Hale. The song is called Deja Vu. Let's listen to this before we talk a little bit about it.
I'm tired of crying each time that you start lying. You don't deserve me. I'm not letting you hurt me.
lots of.
And that is Kai Hale with Deja Vu. Maya.
Listen, I did not mean to line up these songs so thematically, but one of the things that Kai Hale, when she sings, when she says, "Love me, or I'll find somebody who can treat me better than you can," I'm like, a bar. Yes. Say that and say it again louder for the people in the back. It's beautiful, but it's also like heartbreaking and very real and probably unfortunately relatable for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, love seeing the Metro East representation.
Yes.
As many people know, I went to Collinsville High School, so our friends down the road in Granite City. And I think, it's accidental, that these lined up the way they did. I'd love to hear a cover of Radiohead's Creep. Her voice is just so pure, and I would love to see how that translates.
Yeah, this was one of my favorites among the ones that we heard. Now, we have someone who is now based in St. Louis, and that is Beth Bombara. Tell us about Up at Night, Brian.
Yeah, just a great piece. I think Beth is an incredible musician that has a great blend of that folk and Americana. And when she gets through that upper range in her vocals, they just really cut through and, give me goosebumps listening to it.
Let's get a taste of those goosebumps. This is Beth Bombara with Up at Night.
Tell me what's keeping you up at night. Tell me what's keeping you up at night. All the bills are paid and it's a beautiful day. Do you hear birds singing through your window pane? Tell me what's keeping you up at night. Are these storms blowing all across your mind? Are these storms blowing all across your mind?
And that is Up at Night by Beth Bombara.
Out so far of the songs we've heard, this video, this song, it's literally just Beth. Beth is sitting in front of, I'm guessing, probably a phone camera or just some HD camera. We all got HD cameras in our back pocket now. She doesn't even have a microphone in front of her. It's just her and her guitar and her amazing singing, her amazing songwriting, doing what she does. It's very simple and still captivating. I think really captures what Tiny Desk has been and continues to be all these years.
And I really appreciated the parts where it's just her playing the guitar. Like, there were points at which it kind of gave me chills, actually.
We love the goosebump feel.
Yes, we do. So the next song is one by a band.
Yeah.
It's one person and some backups that are coming from a band actually based in Portland, Oregon. This is Monk and Super Secret Band.
Yeah, Monk and Super Secret Band. A lot of folks love this one, including our audio engineer, Aaron Dorr, who is a little busy right now, so that's why he went ahead and shared his thoughts about this entry. And, I mean, Aaron perfectly summed up what makes this entry so good.
Oh, dang. Elephants and Doves. This thing is a funky, like, soul, old school Justin Timberlake, laid back kind of R&B, funky love kind of vibe. I mean, good vibes all around. There's like 7 other musicians up there. There's a tiny desk. There's horns and keyboards and bass, and Monk there just chilling in his like sunglasses and tracksuit and his hair, and he's kind of just like reading from the Book of Love up there at the pulpit. Special shout out to Monk for bringing a little extra here on the submission. Yeah, this is nice.
We're spinning around. We hold each other up from coming down. Just say what you want. We're loving you now. We go together like elephants and doves. Well, lately this is feeling so nice. Will you start talking about love? Yeah, saying that I'll do it just right.
vocals. But love, 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 there's no one above when it feels this good. Well, break it down and love me, baby, know that I trust. Take all of my fuss and it's gotta mean something. You got me dancing to it. Spinning around, we hold each other up from coming down. We're loving it now. We go together like elephants and doves. Elephants and doves. Elephants and doves. We're halfway across the country from each other right now.
And out of St. Louis, Missouri, not halfway across the country, that is Monk and Super Secret Band with Elephants and Doves.
Yeah, and we're hearing the tail end of that trombone solo that goes off and passes on to the saxophone. And as a horn player, I love that little exchange, that little moment there. And I have to agree with Aaron. This is just a plain groovy track, and we're so fortunate to have them here in town.
Mm-hmm. And I will say that there's something about this that, as we were listening to it, made me think about Three's Company, the sitcom, and sort of going down a boardwalk by the beach in roller skates. It has that kind of atmosphere to me. Well, we're going to take a very quick break here, but we'll be back shortly to continue today's listening party and discussion of some of STLPR's local favorites from the NPR Tiny Desk Contest. This is St. Louis on the Air on St. Louis Public Radio.
Support comes from Gemma, architects, planners, and designers seeking to bring joy to their clients and communities. Details at gemastl.com.
Welcome back. Let's get right back into hearing and talking about some of STLPR's local favorites from the NPR Tiny Desk Contest. Here with me to do that are STLPR staff members, Brian Munoz, who is our visuals editor, and St. Louis on the Air producer, Miya Norfleet. Miya, kick us off with this next one.
Yeah, this next song this next entry is from Milan Cameo. She performs her song Speechless, and she's currently based at Scott Air Force Base in Illinois. And our executive producer, Alex Hoyer, he really liked this one as well. He was drawn to Milan's entry because of her sound and her talent that just jumps right off of the screen.
What I think her Tiny Desk entry of Speechless does is it demonstrates her powerful voice, and particularly about halfway through, there's a tempo change. And just after that tempo change, you really hear the kind of range that she has, both from the high notes to low notes. It's just a tremendous song. And I think she just has a great vibe about her, too. I was also interested to learn that Milan Cameo is a staff sergeant in the U.S. Air Force. She's a vocalist for the United States Air Force Band of Mid-America, and of course stationed at Scott Air Force Base. But it's just another example of the tremendous talent that lives in the St. Louis metropolitan area.
That was Speechless by Milan Cameo. We're going to go straight into the next one, which is from KV, the writer, who we've talked about on the show, and this is her song, FaceTime.
I've been chasing you around, and that just ain't right. I got me a job or two, I'm working overtime. I'm not trying to fight, no, I don't want to fight, but somehow to fit you in, you go and text me that again. You got me reading paragraphs like I'm a damn librarian. Gonna book my schedule then, I'm not reading all of that. Now you say you mad at me and that you're gonna tell your friends. I don't really curl a babe, my name start with a K, I saying baby, I need you to call me. Don't want you to text my phone, can't type no more, FaceTime me. I said, baby,
to talk face to face, engage if we got chemistry. You say, no, my eye low. I think you are just in your face, cause it ain't even cold outside. I say, you scared of me to me. You speak a lot and toy with me. You something like a Pekingese. That was kinda mean to me. Sorry, I just wanna know why you always texting me but ghost when it is time to go. I just wanna see your ass. Maybe it ain't genuine. I met you on a dating site. That Kelly Price? Not this again. I know that.
And that is FaceTime by KV, the writer. The laughter here, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, KV, the writer, and co. are not fooling around with passive aggressiveness from the partner or anybody else. You know, this song just had me chuckling throughout and really brought a smile to my face because it's a story I've heard, you know, from friends over the years, or being the older brother to two spectacular young women, you know. It was just great.
Mm-hmm. Now, we have a very different vibe with the next one, Maya.
Oh, yes. So this next entry we're going to hear is Royce Martin. He's out of St. Louis. His song is called On Site, and this was one that a lot of our colleagues really enjoyed, including Nick Acquisto, who's another one of our on-air announcers. And Nick, he shared with me, he wrote, Royce Martin's contribution to the Tiny Desk Contest just blows my mind. The song On Site showboats his affinity for Scott Joplin and ragtime. On the song, he performs ragtime on piano, syncopated with his rapid-fire rap verse. And to add more St. Louis flavor, he even drops a line about St. Louis's Red Fox and Cedric the Entertainer. This is the original song and concept that I didn't know I needed, but I love it.
Haters gon' shred when I make the money spread. One by one, thank you, come again. Hit the cakewalk like I talk about Ted. Entertain the whole city, Red Fox make set. About to make a scene, stay for the creds, wait for the text. Yeah. I was down bad, plug left me on red, but I'm AirPod Pro, bro. I'ma get ahead. Made it off the internet, time well spent. Royce watch on TikTok, Ben 10. Love my be hate, so I'm trigger blend in. So I'm on the low, and it cut me a score ran. Climb to the top, bottoms on red. Lost a lot of friends, bro, I'm trying to break trends. Young start, my shirts, call me Mr. Press. Blues on my chest, cause I let it represent. Love don't win if it's really genuine, but still I'm at the door like where the Benjamins. Blowing through a check like it's time to pay the rent. Found the article in the trench, so it's hard to be content. Finna take a chance like here we go again, cause I get in my head like every now and then. Trying to be the man people highly recommend. Pillsbury Doughboy, wonder about the bread. Knew that I was next since the early 2010s, but the win about to flex, you gon' think we at the gym. Looking for a win, some tell me look within. Am I really myself when I say I'm really him? I'm trying to play it cool, hella smooth, hella trim, but these lines from the dark side bars smelling in. Swag time, ass on my chest, Clark Kent, finna take the city back. This is where it ends. Give my respect, Lego all of my regrets.
And that is On Site with Royce Martin. My heart is beating really fast.
I feel like I'm in the Wild West on a heist. I just robbed a bank, and I'm running away.
Today, you guys, I learned what swag time was,
Yes.
and I am a fan. I love this piece so much. One of the great things that Royce does here, he does not break eye contact in this entire video as he's flying on the keyboard. And, you know, he is unapologetically St. Louis. And I have to mention the line, blues on my chest because I like to represent. And I think that's super appropriate right now with our little playoff berth we're on.
Right. Now let's move on to St. Charles, Missouri. A group known as Russo & Co. made their contest entry here. I'm not sure whether they've done it before, but this is one that it caught my ear and I found really catchy. Let's hear some of Gold Mine by Russo & Co. And that is Gold Mine by Russo & Co.
Yes, you know, again, the spirit of Tiny Desk is we love the theatrics, we love the production value, but I love when it's just a person or a band and the one-shot camera. Again, we're hearing the music as it's being recorded through the phone. And at one point you hear some percussions. When you watch it, he's legitimately tap dancing. And he's getting it while playing his instrument and singing. Like, that is just so cool to me.
There's so much energy in it, right?
Yeah, and just, some people keep time by just stomping their foot. I mean, tap dancing, is something I hadn't seen before. So, I mean,
It's
great
very
job.
charming.
Yes, and there's room for everything with the Tiny Desk Contest.
Yes.
So our last song is one that comes from a place that you know,
Yeah,
Brian.
good old Belle Vegas.
Belle Vegas. So this is Belleville, Illinois, and the group is Unraveler. And this kind of, I think, recalls some of the music that we have been listening to in our St. Louis, monthly music roundup.
A little Midwest emo sound.
Yeah. So let's hear a little bit of Gone and come back and talk a bit about it.
Howling at the moon, trying to make it howl back. Illuminate the ways that I like when she's gone. Save me from the west wind, look in her eyes. It's killing me. I swear to God I'm right, but I know that I'm wrong. I'm barely hanging on with you. Surprise, surprise. How did I just realize? Feeling sorry for myself again.
And this is Gone by Unraveler. This song makes me think about windows down at dusk and sort of a wistful regret without a specific subject or object. You just kind of feel this thing.
You just feel a little emo.
Yeah.
One of the other things that, even in this example, as well as a lot of other entries, is, and we kind of heard Jorge and Rich say this earlier in the ASIC, how often they also show up in other people's videos.
Right.
And I'm proud to say, I recognized a lot of people. And when I watched this video for the 5th time, I realized, oh my God, I know the drummer. That's Sam Ma. We went to school together. And so I had to double check. I FaceTimed him or messaged him on Facebook, is that you in this Unraveler video? He's like, yes. And I'm like, oh my goodness. It's great. And he was just excited that we even watched it.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about it. Hi, Sam.
Did you have any moments like that, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, going through, unfortunately, I did not recognize anyone. But St. Louis metro area is the smallest big town that I think you can be in the United States. And, I just love this, as Maya alluded to, Midwest emo indie rock moment really threw me back to my days of listening to some pop punk, in high school and even now. So I thought they did a spectacular job.
Yes.
And I don't want to go without saying, Jorge has said that he was in, I don't remember the number of entries he's been part of, but I did recognize in Ida Aday's video and as part of Free Nation, there's the same person playing guitar.
And then
so
there's Volume Speaks is in KV The Writers, and also one that we didn't get to talk about because we had to limit it. Unfortunately, we have so many favorites. She plays drums in one video and then saxophone in another. And I'm like, what?
So many multi-talented artists,
Yeah,
which just shows the
really.
depth of talent, I think, here in the region.
yes, and that is a drum that we've been beating for quite some time.
Hey-yo.
Brian Munoz is STLPR's visuals editor, and Miya Norfleet is a producer for this show, St. Louis on the Air. Miya and Brian, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
thanks
Thank
for
you so
being
much, Ling.
You can check out all the Tiny Desk Contest entries from our listening area on our website. That's stlpr.org. And if you've been following this year's contest, we want to hear from you. Which entry is your favorite from our listening area? Let us know by leaving us a voicemail at 314-516-6397. That's 314-516-NEWS. Or you can email us at talk@stlpr.org.
This episode was produced by Miya Norfleet.
Production assistance by Jada Jones.
Our audio engineer is Aaron Dorr. This podcast was mixed and edited by Aaron.
Our executive producer is Alex Hoyer.
St. Louis on the Air is a production of St. Louis Public Radio. Understanding starts here.
Do you find yourself regularly listening to episodes of St. Louis on the Air? Suggest us to a friend you think might enjoy our conversations, and leave us a review and rating on Apple Podcasts on the App Store. It's the simplest way to help people discover our show. Thank you.
St. Louis Public Radio is a member-supported service of the University of Missouri St. Louis.